First, I think Deshi made a lot of contributions already. First, I was intending to engage on that aspect, but I realized that it would be very long to do that. I should rather make a contribution, because I'm realizing that some of the issues have completely nothing to do with the kind of work that he does, but it has to do with the society. I just wanted to contextualize, to give you two examples to set the context of what my contribution. One, during the colonial period in Nigeria, one of the battalion, general that's controlling the battalion, decided that the soldiers must produce concrete. And in the area where they were producing concrete, there was baboons nearby. So the baboons would come and jump the concrete, and by the time it dries, it would almost. So they decided that they're going to deploy. So they decided that they were going to deploy soldiers at that site. And it continues. After 15 years, they stopped the production of concrete. But in the 15 years, Nigeria also got independent. And these guys took over the governance of Nigeria. And they just went exactly the same institutions. So when there was a white general, they also put a black general in their battalion. They deployed soldiers. So for about 20 years, soldiers were going to that workstation. But there was no concrete production. There was no baboons. But they've been doing it for 20 years. But somebody named that battalion is there. So what I'm basically trying to say with that first contextualization, to understand that a person that gives a name to something is always in an underlying purpose. Even when we say formal or say informal, who is giving this name and for what purposes? That's the first thing just for you to think about. Second, you know, if you say that I live in the village and I'm not close to development, whatever that means, then we are going to swap up. Swap up when it's close to the beach, it's close to all those things, and it's good. Life is going to be good for us. Moving from the rural to urban setting, we have this understanding that that is a benefit. But it could also be that in the rural setting, you are the traditional homestead where you don't pay rent, you don't do anything. You just do the production. Now you are going to swap up to blend. So the movement of people, whether from formal to informal, informal to formal, rural to urban, where are we going? In whose house are we going to stay? But if I must go to be close to the sea to rent, I'd rather stay in the rural area. So those are just, I want you to think about those two contexts. Now, do you know that in the so-called, you know when we speak of the formal sector, we speak about societal arrangement, as the sociologists would say. This so-called formal sector with the laws and everything, even the idea, the very idea of family, changes completely. So we must now move in a society that says, in terms of labor law, if your grandmother dies, you can't get leave in this country from your employer. If your aunt dies, you will not get leave. You don't get compassionate leave. But your mother might have died a long time ago and your aunt has been taking care of you for 30 years. Because your mother, your aunt did not adopt you legally, in terms of the labor law, you would not get compassionate leave. So our people must move to the formal sector where they cannot attend funerals of their grandparents. Because the white law, the white economy, the white society does not recognize a family as extended. That is a formal aspect of life. Even your humanity changes. You are no longer a compa, you are a manager. You die today. You die today, tomorrow your resources will put an advert in the Namibia before you are even buried. Because it's not you that is important, it's the position that you're occupying. Your humanity doesn't matter, that's why you're not a human being, you are human capital. In fact, first they used to say the resources, the change from resource to capital. Capital, the same way you have a machinery, the same way you have money, the same way you have a person that is employed. You are capital. That is what we're talking about. There was reference made to social security. I want you to imagine for it. Everybody pays social security. But if my children do not pass to go to university, the money that I pay for social security will be used to pay for your kids that manage to go to university. If my child goes to Informal, VTC or whatever, the social security bursary scheme doesn't recognize those other things that we do. If you want to learn carpentry, whatever, it doesn't recognize it must be an undergraduate qualification. Already at that level. So in other words, said that level 8 already undergraduate qualification going forward. But this is how it's arranged in our justice immediately changes. We are been lied to believe that once you are in the formal sector, there's going to be some sort of job security. No. People like SNB Bank, the bank closed down. Nobody ever thought of the workers. Some of those guys took loans, bought houses, bought cars. But the only discussion is about liquidation. The liquidators, what they don't care about you. But this is the format. Where is the job security? They change either they call it retrenchment or they call it liquidation. Those are our terms that are used, or they call it outsourcing. So in other words, even when you speak of the contract labor system that kept men away from their families for 18 months was a formal process. It's a formal. In fact, there was a case of Shanika who ended up having sex with what is called, what is a female pig? Female pig is there in the National Archives. So the formal sector kept people away from their wives for 18 months. Shanika ended up in the 1960s having sex with the pig. But that is formal. Nobody wants to have a conversation about some of these things and how it's actually impacted. We've been independent for 25 years, but we were told by the Employment Equity Commission in 2015 that 62% of the executives in our country are white. But hold on, it's not by coincidence. In 2020, 52% of executives were, 59% of executives were white in 2010. Then it increases to 62. Amazing, but the black population continues to increase, but the statistic changes completely. 16% of the executives in 2015 were non-Namibians. But we're saying, let's move to this formal sector. But nobody wants to think about that. But what is happening in the informal sector, the so-called informal sector? Already attempting we accept that this thing is informal. Attempting we are somehow brainwashing, actually believe that this thing is informal, we need to develop and move away from it. What is really happening there? Do you know that in the informal sector you can go to a neighbor there, and then you say, I don't have money, my child must go to school. My child must go to school. Can you please just give me rent for my child to go to school? I'm going to pay tomorrow. Can you borrow a ShopRite? Can you go to ShopRite or Pick n Pay and just say, my grandmother passed our house paid down yesterday. I just need tops. I'm going to pay. I can leave my IT or anything. You can't do that, but we do that in the informal sector. So even the useless unions that we have in this country. At USAP, there's a big machine that even the union have agreed that machine, no black person must come closer to it. There's a study done by Bank of Namibia on USAP. That union have agreed, the government have agreed that is a very important and precious machine, no black person must come. Go and investigate. But this is basically what is happening. So, in conclusion, we must talk about a manifesto for change. The manifesto for change, nothing comes up without a radical intervention. Those of us whose children do not go to UNAM, but our money is used by those children who go to UNAM to pay for their bursaries. We must actually be able to say, fund my child going to VTC. Because I also pay for that. That's the manifesto for change. That is challenging the capitalist economy. It's amazing that we want to go to the capitalist economy and be formalized and think everything.
I just want to pick it from the last angle about radicalizing. I wanted to, I think the two presenters did dwell on it. But I think we need, and I always say this, that we need a construct, an ideological construct, that when we discuss whatever has been made, whether we don't want how it is made, we must base it in the depth of the historical context of the structure of our economies. I would have wanted a little more detail on how is it that we are going to reorient the structure of the Namibian economy so that we are able to deal with the question of informality and inequality. Because there is a historical context to this. Why is it that we find ourselves in a structural enclavity where we are still pulled by a small economy driven by capital, anchored on extractive industry? And a huge part of us are not part and parcel of that small structure, which we call form. Why is it so? And we need hard questions to ask ourselves. Because it's not only in Namibia that you find this. Botswana, it is the same thing. South Africa is the same thing. Zambia is the same thing. So we need a radical reorientation of questioning why is it that, who is it that holds the means of production? Who has our money? Do we hold our money? You see, I come from Zambia. The first hard thinking that Dr. Kenneth Kaunda did was to deconstruct that the copper industry must be led by an ethical developmental state. When you do that, you then change the whole contestation about the inequality context. If he left that as a sacred cow, I wouldn't be a professor. If Dr. Kenneth Kaunda left the copper mines as a sacred cow, I wouldn't be a professor. Because I was born on a bank of the Zambezi River, far away near Angola. But I was given an opportunity because of the deconstruction that was led to that. Then we came. After we moved in, we decided we were going to leave all our minds in the hands of capital. Why are we not asking the hard questions of why we don't own the dams? Why the fishing industry? Why don't we ask ourselves those questions? The perpetuation of a small capital group, elite, who collude with some of the state intellectuals that come from the university to steal from the masses. That's where the question is. We need to deconstruct the economies. If we leave it the way it is, the question of inequality will perpetuate. If we leave it the way it is, the question of informality, it doesn't matter what it is called. We know that there is a group of people there in Katutura that have no employment, no social contracts, no nothing. Whatever you call it, whether you call it informality or formality or whatever it is, we know that there is poverty out there. And we know that because we've not thought hard about the contestation of changing the whole economy. So this is an African problem. It's a black problem. The Chinese thought quickly about it. That's what they've been The Malaysians thought about it. That's what they were doing. To deconstruct your economy. That's the only way you can deal with inequality and informality. Thank you.
What can you explain when you are reading in the newspaper that the Ministry of Poverty and Eradication of Poverty and Alleviations and the Ministry of Urban are returning money to treasury? In one word, what can you explain? The next one, I have also a fundamental difference from the presenters. They say, irrespective of the name, I don't care about the name, whether it's a formal or informal. But when you say that there is a choice for you to go to informal, there is no choice. There is always factors that push you in a specific direction. No choice. Because there might be a choice, that not a choice. You see that for you to go and open the campus, the one who's going to open the campus, go and interview that person, what pushed him or her is the ideology of accumulating more. And it's not a choice, it's a system that's doing it. You come to the employee who's working in your compassion, you differentiate these two things. It's a choice for that employee to open your compassion at 10 o'clock and close at 2 o'clock or in the morning the next day. In Africa, we call that night until the sun rises. Is that a choice? So the answer is not true. The other component is that we have not defined who we are. And I have a fundamental differences when, as much as I want African to take ownership, when the Africans start misusing those opportunities. If we have to say that let's take mines in Namibia, who will own those mines? Will be more or less the same names or the same face, and the rest will be left behind. And we claim that, yes, we've taken them. I mean, the issues of trade union, the same that from trade union, maybe job, I'm not from the useless 101. The issues of trade union operation is starting from the constitution. I know that when any person, academics, they podium, they praise our constitution, they praise the colleagues. We should read more, understand how does the liberation movement operate. Those people are suffering, and they haven't got any psychological training for them to rehabilitate it. They're only just clapping hands. The way they're behaving, the way they're behaving. Look, the presenter was talking about the education. If you read the education bill in Parliament, the answer is no. The one that is being debated now. Go and check the notes of statistics. Can you see? And the academics, I don't think even the UNAM is a debatable issue. You don't care about it. And then you will see, I haven't heard about any comments from any professors or doctors from university talking about that. And how do we now address the issues of inequality if we don't start from the basic, which is education, the basic education? So we need to redefine and check also our curriculums. Are we, as a University of Namibia, training people who can go and think independently, or only, hands clappers we are training? And that's why you see the CVs in many bodies. And you look at the document that they produce. Not even a grade 1 can produce that who can think independently. So there are things that we have to go back to basics. And the issues of fear. The issues of fear. And you're thinking that if I smile good with job or professor, then I will look important. Or then I am recognized. We have young people who can just think out of the box. Zombies is the word that it's true. So we need to do something on this. And
you have stolen that from his dictionary.
But of course, the environment is not conducive. And I will go back to find the environment, the When environment becomes conducive, we will move forward. Thank you for this view.
I'm from Ethiopia, and I've been trying to give a key on how to avoid inequality, especially when it comes to girls, when it comes to men and women. I have won in Toastmastership the first prize defending women, defending girls, because there is no equality at home. How can you have equality in government, in communities, at the United Nations, in the world? I'm an aviation professional over 30 years. Air traffic controller I am. I control 37,000 feet above sea level. An aircraft, not one, not two, 10 of them, landing them in Frankfurt, London, and bring them here only by communicating on the radio. But I could not communicate with my brother next door. And that is where the problem is. We do not communicate with each other, we don't learn from each other, and because of that, there is gender-based violence. We have made a national prayer against gender-based violence is continuing. We are mutilating girls and men also, not only women. So the whole issue is the family must be started on equal basis. Men and women must be taken as two equal wings, like a bird, trying to fly with two wings. Now it's a man's world. I'm not sorry that I'm a man, but I'm defending the women. I have won. I've gone to 50 countries, 20 of them in Africa. I have circled the earth. Every place is too small for me. How can we fight 2.5 billion people? How can we calculate equality? And we have two cities in Windhoek, the Katutura and Amupanda area and the city center. It was in the newspaper. 900,000 shots. There are people. So what I'm saying is, the answer belongs in your heart. It's not in the constitution. It's not in the rule of law. Inside you, loving humanity for the sake of God, for the sake of familyhood, like the eye, like the ear, like the nose, working as a family. And I have two, in conclusion, two sensitive issues I have already talked. This is about the youth. Having not a job, but a work, to work for themselves. I invited them 2 weeks ago at the United Nations Plaza, these 800 graduates who made a strike to go to the Prime Minister's office to demand a job. I told them, come, I'll give you how to start a job, how to start a work for yourself, for your family, and others. None of them came, so I advertised in 5 newspapers. The second is about the equality of men and women. Fight for your marriage, family, community, country, the world of humanity. Equality, unity, and peace. The family is the basis of world unity. If we can't have unity at home, we can't have unity at the political level, at any level. Namibia is 4 times the size of Britain. Britain, France, Germany, or Italy combined. As I told you, I'm an aviation person, so you take me as your youngest brother and the youngest father. The whole issue is that we can unite Namibia within 24 hours, and I have the key. I have the book here which I gave to Dr. Gango before he gave his first State of the Nation address. As a guidance, I have here over 20 years. Please come and talk to me. I will give you the key for solution. Thank you.
Anyway, coming to my comment, focalization actually it's about regulation. It's about regulating the system. And we know that our background of our system is rooted within the regulation of the apartheid capital and colonial capital. And
these regulations were actually made to protect the interests of the few. And what basically happened on 22 March 1990, which is the second day after independence of an independent Namibia, what actually happened is that we created a new class, which is actually what the nation is referring to. We created a new class. Previously, before independence, there was white monopoly capital where the system was geared towards protecting the interests of the white. But on the 22nd of March, we had a new class, which is the black elites, which is where we are today. That now they refuse to change the system because it protects the interests of the few, which is now the few now referring to white monopoly capital and the black elites capital. Because that's what the system is serving actually at the moment. And you know, the capitalist system have an inherent nature where it actually, you know, it has power to influence the public discourse. It has power to even impose itself on curriculum and educational pedagogy. Where we are now today, we are saying there are skill mismatches in the country that we need to change the pedagogy in our education system so that the people that graduates can actually be able to find a job. You see? But now the question is, can we say tonight for once that it's not the sin?
No. So, and then the last one.
Okay, I don't think I have a problem with, getting people into the formal sector in this country, but I have a few issues here. First of all, where is this formal sector in this country which is big enough to take care of all of us? Does it exist when we have a look at, government SPs? And then the formal sector, much of it in this country is there's enslavement in it, basically. Slave working conditions. I mean, if I have to sign OP, checkers and ShopRite, whatever, I mean, just to pay the 1,000 point, whatever it is, to where I'm trying to get this for, really. People in the Indian service stations and so forth, how much they earn? 1.1, 1.2. So which formal sector are we talking about here? I mean, from your everyday working conditions to what you earn. And I mean, we think, for example, ShopRite gives you transport allowance, housing allowance. ShopRite housing allowance cannot even buy you a check. So what kind of housing allowance are we talking about in this case? And there's an element of assimilation for me in the informal sector, in the formal sector, because you must now be like, from a language perspective, I mean, social linguist. You, first of all, from a language perspective, for you to enter the sector, you must speak English. Okay? The 2011 Education Conference told us one thing, which actually we all forgot very quickly, which is that 65% of the graduates of grade 12 students who had failed grade 12, had failed just English. Okay? They have passed, some have passed other stuff, but nonetheless, we saw a guy in South Region who built a plane, maybe not your Air Force, whatever it is, but still something, showing his ingenuity. But we ignored him because language, So the assimilation element in, formalizing the informal sector, as you're saying, we have to address. And we have to look at, when we are talking about the formal sector, with all these crazy conditions, we read about it, we see it in press and so forth. When we read that people are signing to go pee in checkers, no one in this government said anything. Trade unions didn't say a single thing about it. People, I'm sure, are signing to pay. So, I mean, why are we romanticizing this formal sector? It's all wonderful. From the salaries to the working conditions, I think let's first of all look at this so-called formal sector. Much of it is rubbish.
Slavery. Yeah. Then we close.
Good evening, my name is Belete Worku. I don't have much to say, but I would like to say presenters, and I like Mr.
Kapara.
Like Mr. Nico said, I had never thought of the concept of why do you want to tax the formal sector. I thought it was a good idea because we have incubators and they don't pay any tax. It comes from my taxes. I am in formal sector and I'm paying taxes for them to get incubators. So why can't they pay taxes? I never thought first educate me why I should contribute to. So that was a good angle. I changed the part. But I just want to say that I don't always blame capitalism because I believe that no one in this world was not colonized. The Europeans, for them to progress, it was the Roman Empire. They were selling hair like this, blonde hair from the Germanic Empire in Italy. So I always believe there is no one who was not colonized. Ethiopia was colonized. I do not know, but they were colonized by the Italians somehow. So, or the Arabics somehow. So I'm just saying there is no one who was somehow colonized, somehow influenced by an outsider. And you can't keep blaming capitalism, what for problems that are existing now. I think the way forward is to improve the social protection, because that is why the Africans are going to the European states, because there is social protections there. With their capitalists, they have good social protection. So that is, I think, that is the way forward. And I think that's why we want to formalize informal sectors. So you don't want to say, because I don't call them informal sector, I call them entrepreneurs, whether they are maybe 0 to 5 entrepreneur, 5 to 6 entrepreneurs. I think they are entrepreneurs because they are engineers. They're trying to make an income. It's a capitalist system, so we have to make an income.
Okay.
I think that's my first time to sit very close to your Amupanda, because I've been seeing him in the newspaper, and I like his approach on various issues through those who are there, him and the Professor Patrick. But what I would like to see in future is that this platform, we have a lot of people, of our educated people, moving in the townships. When they move in the townships, people are smiling. People are smiling. They are not smiling. They see that it's one of our children who made it in life, but they want this person, they are keen, this person, they talk to them. At least say something so that they can hear problems. But they don't know how to approach the person. And that's why I like Job. But Job is there, always, in the streets. I remember this housing issue, remember? The housing issue we have been addressing. So it became not a big issue. And I could see the people even jumping into a ghetto, going into the township and start talking about ways of drugs, whatever. These are the type of things which we need from our educated people. We have to be among our people. The other part is that when we talk about the informality, they say, you cannot win them, win them. I think when we get our independence, until the year 2099, the whites have been moving towards the blacks. They have been moving their position to see how can we work together. At one point, even myself standing here, I know you know the gentleman called Akabani. I was having a group called the Indigenous Business Council. At the chamber level, we were addressing with the business people. We were addressing the hawkers and the champions at one point. But in that meeting where the chamber was, we were told that, you guys were attacking the business people on their business in front of them. But one of the questions which we put, we said, okay, one of the big companies, I cannot mention it, they said, well, we have this number of employees, but we are sending a lot of products to Katutura. But then we stand up and we say, but how many of your members can you bring in front of all your top management? They brought in front of them. Then we ask, how many of these people are blacks? So that is what we see. If you talk about equity commission and all these things are being said, but things are not happening. And that's where we are having a problem. And looking at the informality itself. Informality might be a good thing, or the formal might be a good thing. We don't know about that. But if you look at, if you say to
to a business person and say, then can you have a contract with your worker? This is happening in the informal sector. Because sometimes the worker have been working, but took some money from the business, but there's no agreement where this guy can subtract the money. You understand? So because of informality, the business owner loses. So we want to see things, structural things. But at the same time, what we saw is that, what we saw is mostly that our part of those who are maybe governing this country, part of it became part of the system of the white people. Because what is happening, even at the level of administration, you do discover one thing, that well, instead of going to educate people, what they said there is a city police. Blocking all those people in front of you by not saying the other, what this platform can do in order to address the problem. But currently, people, we have been explaining to people single day. I think when also you were part of social security, you'll be explaining single day, but if you pay one person $1,000, only pay $9, and then the person go and maternity. Those people are saved. And when they went to social security, they are saved. So these are the problems we are facing. Please, let us try to get them out.